Hello everyone, welcome back to our chapter number 2 of our Google ADK series. So in the previous chapter we set the overall agenda and context of this series. We discuss what this series is about, what kind of problems that we are going to solve and what you can expect to learn step by step as we move forward. Now in this chapter we are going to start the foundation or the overview of Google ADK. So in that we'll understand what Google ADK or Agent Development Kit actually is. Before jumping directly into the Google ADK, it's very important to understand why it exists in the first place. So before that, we'll first understand what is an agent, how agents were built before frameworks like Google ADK comes, what challenges are existed in the older agentic approach, and how the agentic workflow works behind the scenes. And finally, how Google ADK comes into the picture to solve these problems. So we will also talk about the layers of agentic framework, what happens at each layer, how agents reason, plan and task of action works, and how all these tasks handled before Google introduced ADK. And once that foundation part is clear, then we'll understand what exactly Google ADK is, what problem it solves, and why it is better than the older agentic frameworks, and what benefits we get by using Google ADK. So this chapter will be a little bit theoretical, but trust me, this part is extremely important. If you understand why Google ADK was introduced and what problem it solves, then we'll setting it up, building an agents and using it for real world automation, and will become much easier in the upcoming chapter. As we discuss in this introduction, our final goal in this series is cross cloud automation, and yes, using Google ADK will actually build an agent that can create and manage Azure services without manually using the Azure portal. So with that context in mind, without wasting any time, let's get started to understand what is an agent. So now let's understand what an agent is. So in a very simple term, an agent is like a human assistant. So when we work with a human assistant, we don't explain every single step to that assistant. So we don't say, open the laptop, open the portal, click buttons, or create the resource for me. Instead, we just tell them the goal. That is, create a storage account for my application. And based on the goal, the assistant already knows what needs to be done, which steps are required, and how to execute them. And AI agents work in the exact same way. So when we use an agent, we don't give a step-by-step instruction. We simply set a goal or define the context. And then the agents figure out the steps on its own and perform the required action. So in very simple words, an agent does these three things. Number one, understand the goal, decide the steps required to achieve the goal, and then execute an action. That's it. If a system can understand a goal, plan the steps, and take an action automatically, then we call that system is an agent. And this is exact the idea of the foundation of Google ADK and modern agentic framework. So now that we clearly understand what an agent is, then the next important concept to understand is what is an agent system or agentic framework. This is where many people get confused. An agent is not a single function. It's not just a prompt. And it's definitely not one API call. In reality, an agent is a system. An agentic system is made up of multiple layers working together where each layer has specific responsibility. So when people hear the word agent, they often think, oh, it's just a smart prompt. But that's not true. An agent is actually built from multiple components and all of them work together to achieve a goal. So the core idea is nothing but agent is equal to system, not a function. So broadly speaking, an agentic system is divided into different layers such as goal or task definition layer, reasoning or planning layer, memory layer, tools or action layer, and external system layer. Then let's understand these layers one by one. So the first layer, that is goal or task definition layer. So this layer defines what the user wants. Then second layer is nothing but reasoning or planning layer. Once the goal is defined, the agent moves to the reasoning or planning layer. In this layer, the agent answers the questions like what steps are required, in what order should we execute, and which tools or service are needed to achieve this goal. Then number third, that is memory layer. So this layer allows the agent to remember the previous context, store the intermediate results, and avoid starting from scratch every time. So because of memory, the agent can behave consistently and intelligently across entire interaction. Then number four, that is tools or action layer. So in this layer, the agent can call the APIs, run the scripts, execute the commands, and interact with cloud services. So this layer where the actual works happen. So in the final layer, the agent interacts with an external system such as cloud platforms like Azure, GCP, databases, CI/CD pipeline, or third-party services. So this is where the real-world system are controlled and automated. So to understand why do we need a framework? So now imagine managing all these layers manually, like goal handling, planning the logic, memory management, tool execution, and error handling. It becomes very complex and hard to scale. That's exactly why agentic frameworks were introduced. Frameworks like Google ADK help us to manage these layers efficiently, abstract the complexity, and build reliable, scalable agents. So when we talk about an agent or an agentic system, the entire architecture is working behind the scenes. So now that we clearly understand what an agent is, why agentic systems are important, and how an agentic frameworks work layer by layer. So it's finally time to understand what is Google ADK. So the Google ADK or Agent Development Kit is a flexible and modular framework for building, deploying, and managing AI agents. So in very simple term, Google ADK provides a platform where we can develop AI agents, deploy them, and orchestrate the complex agentic workflows to achieve our goals. So the Google ADK was designed to make an agent's development feel like a traditional software development instead of writing the messy prompt logic and manually handling the planning, memory, tool execution, and orchestration. So the Google ADK gives us a structured and standardized way to build agentic system. On the compatibility, while Google ADK is optimized for Gemini models and Google ecosystem, so it is designed to work with other tools like ecosystem. So it is model agnostic, framework agnostic, and designed to work with other tools or ecosystem as well. This means we are not locked in a single model or platform. So using Google ADK, we can build agentic architectures that range from simple task-based agent, complex multi-step, multi-agent workflows, all while keeping the system modular, scalable, and maintainable. So this is all about the overview of Google ADK. So in this chapter, we covered a complete overview of Google ADK along with the background concepts that led to the introduction of Agent Development Kit. We discussed what an agent really is, why agent is not just a prompt, how agentic system works layer by layer, and what happens behind the scenes in an agentic framework. And finally, what Google ADK is and why it was introduced. So by now we should have a clear picture that an agent is not a simple function or a prompt, but a complex system made up of multiple layers working together from goal definition, reasoning to memory, tools, and execution. So this foundational understanding is very important because everything we build in the upcoming chapter will be based on this core concept. So in the next chapter, we'll move to the theory to hands-on demonstration where we will set up Google ADK in our local system using Python for the setup, and we'll start building our first agent step by step. So from there, we'll continue the progressive towards our main goal to achieve cross-cloud automation. So if you found this video very helpful, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you. And as I always say, keep learning, happy coding, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a great day.